Protecting the schedule, eliminating leaks, and optimizing flow. Problem statement: holes in the bucket. I know each of you guys know what I'm talking about. Each thing that we don't handle correctly with the schedule creates a hole in the bucket. What does that mean? That you get revenue leaks, you get your patient visits, your KPIs begin to leak out. Small scheduling leaks create big revenue gaps. An empty slot here, a casual gap in the scheduling there, or a provider waiting 10 to 15 minutes between patients may not feel urgent, but it is. Individually, they seem harmless. Collectively, they create massive revenue gaps, lost opportunities, and unnecessary team stress. So we really want to look for those empty slots and create a game plan every single day on how do we keep the patient flow. We talked about flow in an earlier video, that flow is the state of operating off of pure confidence and competence in knowing what you're doing. It's very hard to go stop, start, stop, start. Even when we look at sports, for instance, because I was in that field for many years. A game has so many breaks within quarters, half times, things like that, but you don't see constant breaks within that, because what it does is it breaks the momentum of the team. So we want to be mindful that we cluster book, that we keep the schedule flow, so it keeps full, so we keep everybody in flow. So our philosophy, our focus for the week: efficiency is doing better what is already being done. So efficiency is doing better at what we're already doing. So how do we do that? We audit. We look at areas. How well is production happening in that area? Then we can work to correct that. Structure over chaos. Volume versus flow. Full paper fallacy. Now, most of you guys don't use paper, so we're not talking about paper, but we're talking about EHR. So we can have a completely full schedule on paper, but if it's not structured correctly, the day still feels chaotic, rushed, or slow in the wrong places. So we need to be very mindful of how we're setting up the schedules for each one of our providers and our support teams, such as case managers. The flow solution. Most of the time, our issue isn't patient volume. It is the flow. This week, focus on a singular, powerful standard: protecting the schedule structure. We want to know where a person can move from rehab to chiropractic, or from rehab to medical, from chiropractic to medical. We want to make sure that we have good flow in there, because if not, we're causing that start-stop, which makes it difficult to keep momentum going in the practice. Review and track every gap. What gets tracked gets fixed. Take an honest, rigorous look at no-shows, same-day cancellations, and open gaps. Don't ignore them. We listen to front desk phone calls, and we hear this so often, where people will just say, "Hey, great, we'll see you on your next visit." We need to really focus in. If somebody's canceling their appointment, they should know from going over the policies and procedures of the office with the case manager when they first started. We are pre-scheduling out all of your visits in advance. If you miss a visit, we need to have that made up within 5 days. If you're going to cancel an appointment, we need at least 24 hours notice, and you'll need to have another day in mind. So we uphold this policy all the way through this patient journey. One of the other things I want to talk about too is we've created a revenue triad for this particular reason, because we see a lot of gaps in the schedule for our clients. Each one of those gaps is associated with a dollar amount, whether it's on medical, whether it's on the rehab side, chiro side, weight loss, whatever it is that you're doing in the office. Every single blank appointment slot is worth a dollar amount, which is money. So we've broken that down into our revenue potential calculator. That will show you what is actually the potential of your organization for collections in the whole year. Then the fun part becomes attracting those people in, asking for referrals, getting really great results to be able to attract more people into your practice, to radically transform their lives, to fill up those blank spots. So we must actively track patterns in our schedule, identify why they're happening, especially if it slows things down, and train ourselves to immediately fill those empty slots. So if you're hearing this as a front desk person, don't let people just cancel. Get them rescheduled, because that's the policy of the organization. That was gone over with them, with the case managers, and it should have been gone over with you as their accountability partner at the front desk. So let's hold the policies of the organization, and it'll help eliminate those bigger gaps that come along the way. Action 2, identify and resolve bottlenecks. Spot the slowdowns. Find exactly where the day slows down. Is it a front desk check-in? Okay, what's happening there? Do you not have paperwork printed out? Did you not tell the patient to fill out their paperwork ahead of time? That's a big one, is please complete your forms before you arrive to the office. Bring them in with you. If you don't have a printer at home, please arrive 40 minutes early. Yes, that's important, so you can stay on track with the patient visit and the flow of the organization. Are they waiting on a provider? Was the provider triple booked? Did something happen there? So again, understanding what causes some of those bottlenecks is very important. Could be internal handoffs. What's happening there? Is there too much conversation happening? I've seen this before where some people like to be chatty Cathys and they're talking too much and not moving that patient, even though they're done with their treatment. So be very, very mindful of these things. Prevent broken handoffs. When a patient is passed to a team member and asked the same question they just answered, that looks disorganized. Okay, I'm going to tell you where this happens a lot. From case manager to medical provider or to the doctor, moving into either the medical or the chiro exam. If you don't pass that person off correctly, you just spent time as the case manager being the investigator. You wrote down detective, all of the stuff, and you don't pass that on to the doctor. You just created a bottleneck, because that person's going to want to make sure that the doctor or the nurse practitioner or whoever the next team member is knows everything they just told you. Now you're 20, 30 minutes behind because they're repeating, where you could easily pass the baton and do a 1-minute download, and preferably in front of the patient, so they know that the other person knows. They don't have to repeat themselves. And sometimes it's a little bit of a gut punch to hear back everything they just said to you, because usually it doesn't sound that great. So make sure we're passing our patients to the next person, and the next person is briefed on who they are, what they have going on, and what their goals are for the office. Tech, trust, and experience. Flow breaks cost us more than just time. They directly damage patient experiences and hard-earned trust. Seamless handoffs are not negotiable. So you guys hear me talk so much about 4-man relays, because when you pass the baton, it has to be flawless. If that drops, you will lose the race, hands down, no doubt about it. The same thing holds true if we don't pass the baton to our team members properly. We could lose this patient because they think we don't know what's going on or how to handle the patients appropriately. Number 3, adjusting our scheduling rules, engineering the schedule. Scheduling is never random. It's strategically engineered. Protect prime time. We talk about prime time, prep time, and personal time. What we see a lot is personal time being mixed into prime time or production time. And then keeping prep time sacred as well, because prep time is going to allow you to prepare for the day, who you're going to see, what's going to be done with them, handle any scheduling or capacity blocks. Do that in your morning team meetings. This is the best time to do it, and where you should be writing your game plans the day before. So we handle these things so they don't become a problem when it's game time. So you want to protect that by prioritizing and protecting the prime provider hours and key treatments. Block booking, group similar visits together to maximize team efficiency and mental focus, allowing the providers and your team members to get into that flow state where it's now just coming from them or coming through them, and they're doing a really great job about that. Tighten up confirmation, set crystal clear expectations with patients early in the process. That happens on day 2. When they sign the policies and procedures of the office, they know that they're coming in, they're getting pre-scheduled out for their entire care plan. If they miss a visit, they need to make it within 5 days. If they're going to cancel an appointment, it needs to be within 24 hours. And another appointment time needs to be given at that same phone call. The contrast, the reality of our daily choices. Every open slot is a direct loss. An empty hour translates directly into uncovered or unrecovered revenue, lost patient care, and heightened team stress. A tight schedule empowers everyone. When the schedule is tight, the day flows beautifully. Patients feel cared for, and the team avoids feeling overwhelmed. Increased profitability. A tight structure transforms daily effort into consistent, seamless, highly profitable operations. Cannot stress this enough. Again, revenue potential calculator, revenue prediction. We want to make sure those are in. If you don't have them, give us a call, send us an email, we'll help you out. Your challenge this week, ask yourself every single day, where are we losing time or opportunity, and what can we do today to tighten it up? Let's protect the schedule. It is the key to everything that we do. Improve the flow, take profitable actions. Share your comments here. We'd love to hear from you. We'll see you next time. Be blessed and be a blessing.
If this helped, give this video a like and share it with someone who needs this.